Okay, we are back. I want to go and talk about LLCs real quickly because the next class that we have, we're going to hit on sales, but we're also going to be talking about the minority certification. So if you got people that is looking to do business with the county, the state, the local government, and federal government, they need to also be available for next Saturday between 1 and 4 live. Now, we are streaming live from Albert Burks Jr. live on YouTube, and that will also be available on our site, and eventually we will have it under the ebook. But, you know, we're doing a lot of technical stuff. We are doing a lot of things to try to get the information. So, you know, we're working. It's a lot of work behind the scene, okay? But let's get into the LLC real quickly. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'm going to give you the information that can help you. Okay, we talked about corporation, non-for-profit. This is this LLC is to me, it's the best thing that ever happened since sliced bread. Okay, and it provides all its owners limited personal liability protection. Okay, it eliminates the downside of a sole proprietorship and a partnership, but keeps the upside of pass-through taxation. In other words, what it does is this: when you have a limited liability company, and it's an LLC, it protects you as if you had a corporation. Okay, from people suing you for your personal assets. The beautiful part about this is this: unlike a corporation, you remember I said you take $1, you can go to jail? The money that is made through a LLC, the LLC does not pay the taxes. The taxes this pass through is that the money comes in, pays all expenditures, and you file it on your 1040. It's your money. But you are protected as if you are a corporation. That's a beautiful thing right there. That's a beautiful thing right there. The LLC, the money passes through you. The corporation is a person. The question was, what is better? The corporation is a person. You're just an officer. It pays you a salary. Okay, LLC, after you pay your expenditures and you're making money, the money passes to you, and you could go buy that stick of bubble gum without going to jail. Okay? When you are trying to choose the right business entity, you should consider how many owners you expect in your business. LLC works better with under 35 owners. There's a lot of owners, right? Okay? When you form a limited liability corporation, you go to the Secretary of State, okay, to the business section or department, and here in Illinois, you ask for a LLC 5.5 form, okay, in order to obtain an article of organization. That brings us to something else. When you're dealing with a corporation and you file your form, what you receive from the Secretary of State is an article of what? Incorporation. But when you deal with a LLC, you're going to receive an article of organization. Okay? You pay the required fee. Okay, you have to check with your Secretary of State. You develop an operating agreement. In a corporation, it is called a bylaws. In a LLC, it is called an operation agreement. They are basically the same as bylaws. It tells you what you can do. It protects you, where you can open up the office and everything else. Okay? Even if you were to do a partnership, limited liability partnership, okay, it helps you. It has it's a separate entity, the article of organization. Under a partnership, it's called an article of partnership. I don't want to confuse you, okay? So you got article of incorporation, article of organization for LLC, and a partnership, LLP, is an article of partnership. The Uniform Limited Liability Company Act was drafted by the National Conference of Commissioners in the state laws in 1996 and revised in 2006. Every state has a Limited Liability Company Act. Okay, they are similar, but there's no uniform system that says all states have the same. You must check with your state and see what are the provisions in regards to an LLC. Is an LLC a type of corporation? No, it's not. Some people say, I have an LLC, I have a limited liability corporation. It's a limited liability company, not a corporation. You are protected as if you have a corporation. But the difference is that the money is passed to who? To you. LLCs are authorized to be formed by a different set of statutes, not by the same laws that authorizes the formation of a corporation. This is one of the most important reasons why you must have bylaws. The laws is a little different, but yet they're similar. Both LLC and the corporation are charter entities. What is a charter entity? They can be created only by filing a charter documents in the state of organization or incorporation. When you file your LLC or your corporation with the Secretary of State, you have created a charter. Okay? And that charter, what's the next name for it? Article or organization. C corporation charter document is called an article of incorporation. Learn those terms. Because if you go to the bank, they're going to say, well, do you have your article of organization? You don't know what they're talking about. Okay? And they will ask you, and this is one of the reasons why it's so important that you allow yourself to become a student, and we're talking these things, we're using terms, because you as the entrepreneur, as the head of your company, you need to know these things. You won't be like a deer in the headlight. Consideration. What is a consideration? They're going to ask you when you file for your charter, they're going to say, list the consideration. In other words, how much money you spend to start this company. The consideration is how much money you spent. And it has to be listed on the form. LLCs, owners are called members. We're going to talk about member, and manage in a second here. I don't want to confuse you, but you're getting ready to talk about that because you need to know this. LLC can be governed either by direct management or by representatives management, but make a decision to be governed by their owners. Member manage LLC. And they're going to ask you that. When you file as an LLC for your EIN or FEIN, they're going to ask you, are you manage or member? Mostly you want to be manage. You know why? If you member, the member vote on you being the CEO. But if you are manage, you are appointed. They saying, woo. Sounds like a lot, don't it? But when you can twist your tongue like that, you know it. If the election to be governed by a body or a group of managers, a managed LLC is managed much like a corporation by an appointed body or person other than the owners. In other words, when I created my LLC, I became the CEO and the chairman. I didn't have to ask members to vote on me to be the CEO. I manage. But if it had member, they vote on who's the highest office and all of that. You understand? So most of the times, depending on how you form your organization, you want to be a manage. But I would say get legal advice on that, okay? Because it deals with, responsibilities and all of that. A manager need not be a member of the LLC. So you can have someone who's not a member of your company to be on your, I call it board of managers instead of board of directors. Okay? An LLC operating agreement. This is like the bylaws. An operating agreement is a close equivalent of the corporate bylaws. It covers matters such as who governs the LLC, how many managers are appointed, how many members can be audited from the LLC. When you got an article of incorporation, it says what? It is governed by the board of what? Directors. Okay? Okay. It tells you how the officers in the board can be appointed. But see, it's different. This is LLC, so we talk about managers. You see what I'm talking about? A little different. Just an understanding the terms. LLC are not required to have an operation agreement, but it is advised. Why is it advised? Something happened. You get in a big dispute. You go before the judge, and the judge will say, well, do you have an operation agreement? No, I don't. He's going to revert back to the Corporation Act if there is no charter or there's no statute or provision. And you want to be able to say, yes, Your Honor, I follow the operation agreements. And this is how we are removing people. One provision that I actually put in operation agreements and bylaws is that if you violate and tarnish the image of my company, you out of here. I ain't got to get ready because you violate company policy number 46. No. You went out there and you cursed out somebody and called them all kinds of names and it tarnished the image, and they figured that everybody up under Executive Business Alliance is a bunch of joke. You tarnished the image. You was not for the best interest of us. There is a professional limited liability company. Most of the time, these are for medicals and legal, professional. Because guess what? When you engage in rendering professional services such as the practice of medicine or law, the state law generally require professional LLCs to maintain generous insurance policies, malpractice and all of that, or case reserved to pay claims brought against them. And most of the professionals limited liability must register with the Department of Professional and Registration. That's another department now, right? Secretary of State. Then they must go to the Department of Professional Registration. Professional LLCs are not recognized in all states, most notable in California. The organization development should be left to a qualified attorney or Albert. No. Okay. And I do say, get all your documents. Take it to an attorney. That's what they were trained for. I'm not an attorney. Ebox is not an attorney. And we don't profess to be one. Everything that y'all heard in these last 6 weeks, do your due diligence. This is just general information. Nice disclaimer, ain't it? Choosing the right entities, owners. You remember we talked about an S corporation. You have to petition the Internal Revenue Service to be a S corporation. And you cannot sell your S corporation. It's called a subchapter S. A subchapter S is like you are protected under the veil of a corporation, and you still enjoy the pass-through, but you must petition the Internal Revenue Service to give you that status. LLC, you don't have to. You file with Jesse White, Secretary of State, or the state that you live in, the Secretary of State, and you don't have to petition for that pass-through. It's automatically part of that charter, or the charter of that, process. One thing about a S corporation, no more than 75 shareholders. In an LLC, no maximum or no minimum. All states allow single members, LLCs. The owner eligibility individual, U.S. citizen. Now you notice something? When you're talking about an S corporation, it says an individual, U.S. citizen, and resident alien, death estates, bankruptcy estate, and certain things, because they deal with taxes. All people and entities eligible to own an S corporation plus corporation partnerships when you got an LLC, because it's not dealing with the IRS. Okay? I'm not going to go through each one of those. The advantage and disadvantage of limited liability: you do not require annual meetings and require fewer ongoing formalities. In other words, you got a full corporation, you got to have a annual meeting, special meetings, and all of that kind of stuff. You must keep minutes and everything else, right? And then what they're saying to you with an LLC, you don't have to worry about all of those formalities. The owners are protected from personal liability for company debts and obligations. You're treated as a corporation, almost as a corporation. You're protected. The only way that you can turn around and they can take that status if you are negligent, and a few more things. If you are negligent and you have pierced the veil of the corporation, they're going to come after you and as if you negligent. I said, don't be negligent, just be knowledgeable. Join Ebach. Enjoy partnership style pass-through taxation, which is favorable to many small businesses. When they came up with these limited liability, you know why they did that? Just think about this. You're in real estate. You're in the office. Somebody sold somebody a house and something went wrong. You're in partnership with that realtor. They sue the realtor. They want to sue you too. You say, wait a minute, I ain't got nothing to do with that. So it almost collapsed the real estate industry. So they had to create things that says you are only limit to your investment and so on like that. So they had to protect the people. Law firms and everybody would have been sued, right? No, we'll talk about that. Do not have a reliable body of legal precedents to guide owners and managers. This is a disadvantage. Although LLC law is becoming more reliable as time passes, this is the reason why you got to have policies, procedures, and bylaws and stuff. This is the reason. This is a new baby. Not an appropriate vehicle for business seeking to eventually become public or seeking to raise money in the capital market. LLCs, if the money is passed through to you, how are you going to go public? Shareholders are looking to what? Buy shares. But you've taken all the money out because you are paying the taxes on your 1040. Most expenses to set up in a partnership must make periodical filing with the state and pay annual fees. Some states do not allow the organization of the LLC for certain professional vocation. People, I remember when Illinois used to charge $500 for LLC, and everybody used to go to Indiana because it was $150, right? Oh, they were smart, weren't they? They're smart. That's a smart deal, right? Until they came back to Illinois and they found out that you had jurisdiction in Illinois, and they charged you that $500 to authorize to do business in the state of Illinois. Oh, you can't outthink them. You know. Limited Liability Company Act. Every state has a Limited Liability Company Act, and there are many similarities from state to state. but there is no uniform law in effect in all states. Okay? If there is a conflict between the state statutes and your article of operating agreement, the statute will prevail. The law will prevail. Both terms are referred to statutes and act. And these are things that you need to know as a CEO, manager, and president. What's the difference between a statute and an act of LLC? Both terms refer to law duly adopted by Congress or by state legislature. All the laws adopted by Congress or a state legislature are statute. Okay, all laws, they are statute that is adopted by state legislators or Congress. A specific body of statutes, is an act. Acts are sometimes referred to as codes. Now, you got the state statutes, okay? You got acts that is referred to codes. Most small state cities have what? Municipal what? Codes, including internal revenue codes, uniform commercial code, or a criminal code. And we're going to stop here. Okay? What I would say in regards to a general partnership, if you're going to go into partnership with anybody, please do your due diligence to check their background. Check their credit. Check their if they have suits against them. Have a partnership agreement. Do not go into business just because that's your homeboy. How many homeboys go say, I'll be right back, run into the store and come back and you in jail the next 20 years. Yeah. So be careful. When you do a partnership, make sure you have a partnership. And here, I'm going to give you words of wisdom. Anytime you go in business with people, please do duties and responsibility of each officer. Because you've been to work yourself like a racehorse and they did nothing. And but they're looking for that big bucks. You understand what I'm saying? Duties and responsibilities. So now you know that if this person was responsible for cutting the grass and 3 houses and you were responsible for 4 houses and the 3 houses the grass was not cut, they can't say, well, I didn't know. Okay? So we're going to stop right here. I'm going to send out my shout real quick. We do have a young lady here. I met her, and she do the best cheesecake. Melinda, you want to run up here real quickly because we got about 1 minute. You got to go. Got to go. 1 minute. Too late. No, come on. I met her. She's a registered nurse.
Hi. Oh.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Melissa Forte, and yes, I am a registered nurse. I was doing a substitute nurse assignment at Oak Street Health, and I also make the best cheesecakes ever. I call myself the Cheesecake Whisperer because I don't know, it's like the ingredients and recipes just whispered to me, and I whispered them out and bake the best cheesecakes. Thank you.
Oh, give me your address and your telephone number.
You know what? I don't have a web address. That's why I'm here at EBOT because I need to get all of this stuff set up. And I'm happy to meet with Shannon, the photographer. Oh, no free cheesecakes. No. Sorry from the audience.
Capitalist.
Capitalist. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Yes. Oh, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. You guys have a good weekend. You have a good weekend. Go to Albert Burks Live for the YouTube. Okay, and then go to our website. You'll be able to share this with everyone that wants to start a business. Next week, minority certification and sales. Talk to people. They got money, man, out there for the government. You need to know how to get those paperwork. I'm bringing a guy in from Indianapolis, and this is what he does. There were $3 billion, and they couldn't find minority. So you need to get people to listen in. Come out here, because as of January the 1st, we charging $7,000 a class. I'm just joking. Have a good weekend.